Oh, what a film they chose at the Oscars ceremony this year. It's breathtaking. This film has everything in common. The female body, Russian oligarchs, who's the only son lives in America, and the problems of the Gen Z. As you already understood from the cover of my video and its title, I dedicate this video to the film Anora. The film is very controversial and it's the reaction to it in both left and conservative communities. In the meantime, I ask you to subscribe to my channel if not already. It really helps to promote my videos. Please like it, click the remind button, and I'm starting this analysis video from Oscar. As I've said at the very beginning, it seems that Anora has collected all existing cliches. The girl is a stripper with a Russian background, Russian origin, her parents are Russian immigrants who somehow make ends meet in some backwater places. The main character is Vanya, the heart of a typical representative of Gen Z, the only and extremely spoiled son of Russian oligarchs who know just how to make money and measure everything with money, and they don't give a damn about ordinary people. Then we have a half-really Russian man, a typical Russian fixer, whom is called Gopnik in Russia, which we have seen many times in Russian films, but it's worth nothing that Yuri Borisov played very well. I have no complaints about his acting at all. His character is not annoying, it does not like a caricaturing log. Forgive me, but I'm rather picky about Russian actors, especially compared to Danila Kozlovsky and Andrei Petrov, who have neither emotions or neither acting talent. Oligarch parents again caricature such celestials who have greatly detached themselves from ordinary people, but again, this is much likely all because they really want to forget that they themselves came from the common people through not the most honest machinations. These machinations, they are not at all just descendants of noble or merchant Russian dynasties, which they want to be, well, or at least seem to be. They pretend to be glamorous, rich, prosperous, but indeed, they're just nothing. And finally, there are two people of American origin who speak a mixture of English and Russian, the main servants of oligarchs who are trying to fix the terrible situation. And a gift and a reference to all Russian people. This is a song of Banter 2 on the 19th minute of the film. Such a cute insert which we see Vanya again after his escape. Why did the film cause such a hot discussion in America? The film is very, very controversial. The film is strange. The plot, let's say, is not the most social. If you have not watched this film yet, attention, there would be spoilers right now. So, as I have already said, we have a girl of Russian origin who works as a stripper and sex worker. I'd be very accurate here. And Nora does not call herself by her name. She calls herself Annie. She came up with some kind of pseudonym, and at the same time we are not shown the classic story when girls in this industry drink a lot or use illegal substances or indulge in drugs. We are shown a rather superficial girl with a claim to self-consciousness. Thanks to a lucky chance, she is chosen to, so to speak, do some service to a rich boy who is dependent on his parents. He doesn't study, doesn't work, but simply lives for his own pleasure under the supervision of Taurus, whose duty is to ensure that there are no external troubles, so that everything is noble, fine, fixed. And then it turns out there's this boy, I can't even call him a young man. He got carried away. He liked this experienced girl who can do this and that for him, who for money makes his world a little bit more adult. After all, she shows him the delights of sexual pleasure. Despite the fact that he's about 21 or 23 years old, he's absolutely irresponsible. And he makes a joke decision that he wants to continue having fun and entertaining himself with a girl. He did not want a family. He did not want a relationship. He was He has no idea what a relationship is, what love is. And as we will see later from his parents, there are no love in the family. They have a very, very specific relationship, very complicated. The parents paid off their son, provided only external manifestations of care and support. Surely, while they were earning all the money in this world, all the influence in this world, their son, most likely the only son, was looked after by nannies, governors, and hired tutors. According to the tradition of the new unestablished Bohemia and elite of Russia, children also study in closed boarding schools, but this was not shown in the film and not even. And this led to the fact that the guy simply has no stops, no boundaries, nothing valuable his life. In even such a crucial moment as making his own family, for him is just about a joke. Simply because of that moment, it was so simple and comfortable for him. And here I want to talk a little bit more about Vanya. He is a kind of collective image of Gen Z, which everyone is talking about now, because his generation has grown up and started to declare itself, its interests and life position about its values after all. So we see in him such a collective and somewhat caricatured character, incapable of anything. And the father's statement that he will send his son to work, frankly speaking, it's too late to write a son when he no longer knows how to do anything and is not going to learn anything. Vanya only knows how to have fun and enjoy life, but he cannot perceive this world seriously. And in this regard, Vanya is such a collective character because in Russia there is a whole generation of golden youth who have a golden spoon in their mouth since birth, who don't even need to wish for anything. They already have everything by the very fact of birth. And this is destroying their future development in this life. They often become a very pale copy of their parents without any knowledge and skills. They simply burn their life, earning nothing but losing millions after million for, on their daily need. His parents could not understand the main thing. It is not the presence of money that make them elite, but the upbringing of worthy successors who will multiply their contribution and truly establish the nascent dynasty. But we have what we have. Yes. Here we go. And his parents who appeared in the second part of the film show us that they themselves are absolutely callous and non-emotional people who can do nothing but boast about their wealth and humiliate other people. Ivan's mother never even called the main girl by her name Anora, and she doesn't value her son at all, because when Anora called him pathetic, his mother supported her. She started to laugh and said, "Yes, you are pathetic, my son." To be honest, I really like the acting of Mark Edelstein, who played this Vanya. Well, it's rather hard to call him Ivan. Ivan is some adult, not grown up at least. Vanya, yes. He was able to withstand his character, not to overdo it with much grimaces, with drunken quirks, as Russian actors like to do. He was able to make his character the way he is in real life. A grown-up child whose instincts has awakened and who wants to become cool. After all, why did Vanya pay Anora for a week of relations at the beginning? That at least at her expense he could start to mean something and stand out somehow, because his friends are with him only for his money and they consider him a nobody, and Vanya understood it. A good story about the relationship between generations, about the relationship between different worlds, moderately cliched and caricatured. But at the same time, this film began to receive criticism and accusations of propaganda and support for the sex industry in the USA. And all of this is because prostitutes were invited as consultants during the creation of this film. Well, prostitute consultants. This is already something that does not really fit into my poor little head. Okay, that is, they're expert level prostitutes and expert level strippers who helped create this film. Okay, I will try to understand that's all. Wow. By the way, maybe this is why half of the film was dedicated to this. Yes, here I want to criticize the film a little bit and say seriously, half of the movie is dancing, having sex, her dancing, wiggling her butt in front of him, sex, excellent. Half of the movie. I can't remember which of the Americans critics said about this, but the expression reflects to the essence that you had to watch a whole hour of porn so that what? The characters are already more than clear. Maybe they wanted to justify the costs on this kind of consultants? That makes sense. What is film worth an Oscar? My personal opinion, no. No. Well, this film is not Oscar material at all. Seriously, to be honest, I only watched Substance from the list of the nominees. But even this film seems much more actual social to me. Substance raises the issue of the desire to perceive youth and beauty by all means and all paths. This film is very ironic and crazy, and this is much more filled with meaning and idea than Anora's film. I watched Anora and I hope that I will forget it that it's a series in a similar films of this gender, But Substance literally ate into my consciousness, and I honestly, my word goes to this film and Demi Moore, and not for Mikey Madison. Forgive me, but at once, Leonardo DiCaprio had to get into the skin of a horse and let giant grizzly just turn him to win an Oscar. And here, forgive me, but I don't notice that Mikey played very well. And she didn't show any performance. Forgive me, but the first hour she showed her body from all her sides. Then the second part, she told everyone she won't get divorced, and she was calling Vanya, Vanya, I want to get divorced. You are me married, and the beautiful ending, a hand at love with a Russian guy eager to blend and vanilla. Did they want to show us a modern day Cinderella who lost all and found herself and her soul? Well, okay, the same in the car. It was the ending to this film. I'm really getting carried away, but what can I say? How too many times have I tried to watch a film that won an Oscar? Well, there are more probably no bright impressions, not even once in the last 7 days. In general, if not for the film, then for the best female role, I definitely give my vote to Demi Moore. The way she played in the last film and allowed herself to be turned into a crumbling creature that requires a courage, especially when she did a lot to perceive her beautiness. But to wear a fur coat or dance on a pole, no way, sorry. Somehow film critics are not academics at all, they're only vote for God knows what. But apparently they wanted to show the history of Russians in America, that they have changed and have not been in charge of the New York City for a long time, and they know the Russian mafia, and they always showed us in a previous film. And that's all for now. Thanks to everyone who watched this video up to the end. Please subscribe, give me a thumbs up. Be sure to write how do you like the decision of giving Oscar to this film and what your favorite film is. See you in my next video. Bye.